Get off my lawn!
We're live?
Oh, we're back.
Oh,
What's up? What's up, Twitch? How's it going?
Oh, my goodness.
Round two of the Old Cranky Man Collectibles August Modern Team Trios. In the feature match area, we've got Alfredo at the top of your screen. He's playing Team Rhinos. And at the bottom of your screen is Johnny. That's Jonny on, you guessed it, Rakdos Scam.
One of the best decks in the format right now. Gonna see a lot of it.
Yes, very, very clearly. And then, so Temur Rhinos had some really interesting stuff going on at the Pro Tour. For a deck that has been around the format for as long as Temur Rhinos has, there was a lot of innovation to this archetype. Mm-hmm. So we had the version of the deck that has Mutavault.
Yep.
And then Flame of Arnor. I think is what it's called.
Flame of Arnor. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's the 3-mana instant that if you control a
wizard,
you can pick multiple modes of this card.
And it's being 3 mana super important.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. The deck sort of functions off of like weird ways to get around the requirement, the cascade.
Yep.
Right.
And then another innovation is the questing beast out of the sideboard to turn off the One Ring.
You know how I feel about QB.
Yeah, I know you love a questing beast. So
yeah.
Players are already getting started here. It's a Grief exiling a Dauthi Voidwalker, and that's going to reveal 2 lands, a Lorien Revealed, a Crashing Footfalls, a Violent Outburst, a Force of Negation, and a Dead Gone.
Yeah, we just take the outburst here, right?
Seems reasonable to me, I think, yes.
Yeah, we don't want them getting that.
So, gosh, I don't know what you take. That seems like the obvious choice, I suppose.
Lorien Revealed would be good if he was on, like, 1 land. If Alfredo was on 1 land, I think you take the Lorien Revealed, and you kind of hope.
You just hope they never get the 3rd land.
Lorien revealed another new.
Johnny gonna think about this one for a minute. It looks like he is gonna take the Violent Outburst here. Yeah, Lorien revealed another new card. I don't know if it's an innovation per se. It's just a very good card. Lets them to drop their land count a little bit, and then a Undying Malice. Is that Undying Malice? Undying Malice is going to bring this Grief back with a +1/+1 counter on it. Johnny will get to take another card out of the hand.
Probably take the Dead Gone.
Do you think it's the Dead Gone?
I think we take the Dead Gone so that the he's just taking the
yeah. I mean, you take the Crashing Footfalls, and now basically he's just got an extremely reactive hand.
Yeah. So he's got to stomp it. He just drew a
that was what I was going to get into after I talked about questing beast real quick. Is Alfredo not opting for the Mutavault plus Flame of Arnors.
Okay.
He does have the questing beast though, which also turns off the One Ring.
The protection.
The protection from the One Ring. Yeah.
Yeah, I think being able to. So many decks that are on the One Ring right now count on that.
They do count on that fog, yeah.
Yeah, and then, we've got it.
Yep. Okay. So on Johnny's turn, Johnny's just going to play another land and then pass back to Alfredo. Alfredo's got a land, and evoking a Grief here to take care of the, evoking a Fury to take care of the Grief.
We know Alfredo has that Bone Crusher Giant in hand too.
Yep.
And so that'll take care of if Johnny tries to dash a Ragavan here.
Yep. Interesting that he chose to not cycle the Lorien Revealed at some point in there.
Even on turn 1, I think.
To find the 3rd land.
Yeah, it would suck if Johnny had
maybe he's just like, well, if I draw my lands and then eventually I'll be able to cast this Lorien Revealed, which will put me very, very far ahead.
That's fine.
So maybe he's just trying to play a long game here.
I suppose that's true. That grinding always an option against Rakdos, but I don't know that anybody grinds better than Rakdos.
Well, if there is a deck that does, it's Temur Rhinos.
Yeah.
So Fable of the Mirror Breaker is going to get met with a Force of Negation here. This Misty Rainforest is going to get cracked. So Temur Rhinos, I know I've talked about this quite a bit on the stream when we get this this deck on camera, but that they have the ability to kind of swap between a tempo deck and a control deck.
Yeah.
And they can make that pivot. So Like I said, Alfredo here maybe just biding the time.
Yeah.
Trying to make those land drops and cast this Lorien Revealed. But I actually, maybe he kept that in hand so he could pitch it to the Force of Negation.
Oh, we're just hard casting a Bone Crusher here.
Sure. I believe he just kept that Lorien Revealed in hand so he could pitch it to the Force of Negation.
Okay,
that was his blue card.
I
okay.
like that.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, Johnny's token here is I don't know what what the game is that is from, but that's his Orc army.
Oh gosh, what is that name?
Is that Flesh and Blood?
No, that's not Flesh and Blood. It's it is on the tip of my tongue. So, yep, Orcish Bowmaster is going to get flashed in. That will shoot Alfredo for 1, and then we'll pass back his direction.
Johnny's got a big board state here.
1 mana for a Dead Gone. That's going to take care of the Goblin Shaman token.
Yep. And Alfredo now has the ability to just kind of sit. He's got a blocker that can pretty much take, like, he doesn't have to worry about giving his opponent.
I don't know if he can sit here. No. That Fable of the Mirror Breaker is going to start copying that Orcish Bowmasters, and that's going to get nasty.
And it'll make that token big.
Because if you have multiple copies of Orcish Bowmasters in play at the same time, those triggers stack.
Yep. Yeah. That's rough. And your token army is just going to get huge.
Yes.
And they don't even have to draw additional cards. They just have to. Oh, he's blocking with the. Does he have an Undying Malice? He does. Okay. We have a response.
So
a stomp.
Bone Crusher Giant Stomp is going to take care of the Orcish Bowmaster. The Bowmasters is going to stop it from coming back. From
Not every deck is playing the Bone Crusher Giant then.
No. Bone Crusher Giant now being played because of the One Ring.
Sure.
I believe really early on in the initial iterations of Rhinos, Bone Crusher was kind of a staple.
Yeah.
But recently they had stopped playing the Bone Crushers for other things, and now the Bone Crushers have made their way back into the list because of the One Ring.
They stopped they stopped damage prevention.
Yep.
Okay, I don't know how to phrase this. Dead and Gone always felt like it was doing the job of Bone Crusher Giant.
I believe so.
Because it's cheaper, like 1 mana instead of 2.
Uh-huh.
But we're playing both in this deck.
Yep.
I almost feel like, and I'm not good at Magic, but but I feel like we could trim some amount of Dead and Gones. I wonder how many copies he's playing.
I did look through his deck, and I believe I saw 3 Bone Crusher Giants and 2 Dead Gones.
Oh, so we did trim. Like we trimmed down some of the Dead Gones to allow for the Bone Crusher.
Right, and I think because of the existence of the One Ring, the Bone Crushers are just a little bit better. So a Shardless Agent is just gonna put 10 power into play here.
This is the best Cascade spell in the deck because it has power and toughness all on its own. Mm-hmm. This is going to be rough for Johnny. Now, even though he has a flipped reflection, he has nothing to copy with it. It's just a 2/2. Like, yeah, he could play something and copy it, but like the damage is done. Alfredo's got it.
This is why this tends to be a problematic matchup for the scam players.
Yeah,
because Temur Rhinos can just put a whole bunch of permanents into play.
Just scooping it up.
So Scam is looking to 1-for-1 their opponent a lot.
Yeah.
And Rhinos can produce 2-3 permanents from a single spell, which is very hard for a 1-for-1 removal style thing to be. And in other matchups where that tends to be an issue, Fury takes care of multiple permanents, so it's not as big of a problem here. However, Fury cannot typically take care of multiple permanents out of the Rhinos deck. Because their power and toughness is so large.
They're 4/4s each. A single Fury is just going to take care of 1, and that's if you hard cast it. It's a 1-for-1 if you hard, or I suppose like a none for 1 if you have the body.
Yeah, it's like 0.5 for 1. Yeah.
But if you're evoking it, that's a terrible deal.
Yeah,
you're 2-for-1ing yourself to deal with one of the 2 creatures. Plus, they have a Shardless Agent in play.
And then it also does not block Rhinos very well.
No. And it's also going to hurt you if you try to kill their Bone Crusher Giant with it. Mm-hmm. So we're seeing some sideboarding here. This is going to be a pretty typical, like, I think this is a light sideboard match.
Yeah, let's check it out.
All right. And we're back. Saw some shimmying and shaking with us there, going behind some chairs, taking a quick peek.
So, interesting sideboarding.
Yeah. So, what did Alfredo bring in?
Well, 2 copies of Force of Vigor.
What's that for?
The only thing that I can think of that it kills is Blood Moon and Fable of the Mirror Breaker.
Yeah, Johnny brought in a ton of Blood Moons.
No, they're out.
I thought I saw at least one copy that was in.
They're out.
They're out.
He took them out. I looked at his sideboard. So yes, Rhinos brought in 2 Force of Vigors, took out 2 Dead and Gones.
Okay, I think that's fine.
Scam took out 2 Bolts and brought in 2 Chalice of the Voids.
Chalice on 0.
The Chalice of the Void makes sense. I'm just questioning the Force of Vigors.
That's an interesting choice.
It does have things that it can kill, but I don't feel like prioritizing killing a Blood Moon is really where you want to be in the Temur Rhino seat. I think we probably want to pivot a little bit more into a tempo deck, and not worry about like a Blood Moon.
I agree. Yeah,
just fetch basics and play around it. So
if we survive game 1 with Blood Moons in the deck, then we'll survive game 2.
A Grief being Undying Malice is going to take care of a Fury and a Lorien Revealed. Lorien Revealed, another card that makes me think that maybe we just don't need to worry about a Blood Moon.
Exactly. How many basics are being played in this deck? It's
in Temur Rhinos, 3 or 4.
3 or 4.
Yeah.
And you can fetch out your basic islands. You have fetch lands to pull out your basic forests.
I haven't actually looked at Alfredo's list, so maybe he's just not playing any basic lands and he's super worried about a Blood Moon.
I suppose, yeah.
I can assure you that all 3 copies of Johnny's Blood Moon are in the sideboard right now, though.
That's wild. I thought he had brought them in. I was looking at his deck and
he did, but when I went around there behind him, he was making some changes.
He was pulling some
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep. So he did originally have 3 copies of Chalice, but only settled on just 2 copies of Chalice.
I think Chalice is a smart choice. It's it's proactive. It sort of requires Alfredo have an answer. Okay, so there's an old story about reactive sideboarding, right? With Price of Glory, which is a card that if your opponent taps a land not on their turn, they have to sacrifice it, right?
Oh, yes.
And this is a sideboard card that a lot of decks would bring in against control decks. And then control decks would reactively sideboard in that white enchantment that said if an opponent's card would ever make you destroy a land, you get to put it back into play.
Okay.
And so what it would mean...
Sideboarding based on what our opponents are sideboarding.
Correct.
Yes.
And this feels very much like what...
Sure. Okay, well, this confirms it. Alfredo is playing basic lands.
Okay.
Except, unfortunately for him, you cannot fetch an island off of a wooded foothills.
Yeah. Yeah.
Johnny quick to point that out, though, and this is going to get fixed.
Now we're just getting a forest.
Yep.
Yeah.
Alfredo is already down to just 7 life.
Jeez.
Grief and Dothy Voidwalker getting in the red zone.
This is a good start for Rakdos Scam. We're basically seeing it operate on maximum efficiency here. I really do like that sideboard plan from Rakdos of just going kind of anticipating what they're going to board in. And honestly, if you Chalice on 0 and force them to evoke, or not evoke, but free pitch cast Force of Vigor.
Oh, okay. So the chalices. Force of Vigor also kills the chalices.
Does it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. The Force of Vigors make a lot more sense now.
But also, if they're 2-for-1ing themselves to kill the chalice, you're fine. You're
right, because you're looking to make 1-for-1 card exchanges.
Okay, so he's got the Violent Outburst.
Petty Theft is going to take care of the Grief, and then Violent Outburst in response to the Grief getting recast is going to put some Rhinos into play. I would imagine. Okay, all right. I digress.
Yeah.
What I had said earlier about Force of Vigor being questionable was incorrect. It kills Chalice of the Void. It can kill a Blood Moon. It can kill a Fable of the Mirror Breaker. The card seems fine in the matchup.
Yeah, it does, but it's also an example of reactive boarding because it is the sideboard cards generally in this deck are almost all enchantments and artifacts.
Sure.
So if they're trying to come after your mana base with a Blood Moon, that's an enchantment. If they're trying to come after your stack ability with Chalice, that's an artifact.
Yep.
But it is sort of like you have to get maximum value, you have to wait for them to resolve 2 different targets.
Yep.
Because 2 for winning yourself to react to something sort of sucks. So we're discarding these are all going to the graveyard, all getting exiled under the Voidwalker.
Yep.
Voidwalker represents a very real clock here.
And then the
Alfredo's at 3.
Yes.
And that Voidwalker is
I believe Alfredo's at 4. So the Fury is going to get discarded to the Grief. That's going to get exiled into the Dauthi Voidwalker. And then Alfredo is going to put a Crashing Footfalls on Suspend. A Brazen Borrower is going to bounce the Dauthi Voidwalker back. And
is he just rumbling?
Maybe attacking with 1?
No, you can't because the Grief has Menache.
Oh, you need both to block.
You gotta you gotta block with both. If he had attacked with 1, that would have been a real mistake in my opinion.
Yeah, would have went down to just 1 life, and then an Orcish Bowmaster's gonna fix him off. So Johnny gonna shock this in. Looks like a Fury's gonna come down and take care of one of those anyway. And now nothing he can do about this. He's gonna go down to 1 here. We'll pass back to Alfredo, and it looks like we are gonna scoop these cards up and head to game 3. You'll love to see it.
That was an explosive opener for Johnny.
Yeah, a lot of griefs.
Yeah, the perfect opening of Grief and Undying Malice.
Yep.
And neither player saw either of their sideboard cards there.
No, I don't believe so.
Yeah, it was. Honestly, though, that's it's very pure magic to get the game 3. We'll see the sideboard cards maybe, but get both players sort of getting to do what they want to do, and still in both games, Alfredo was able to cascade into a Rhinos.
Yep.
And in both games, Johnny was able to evoke the Grief and Undying it. It was just player versus player. They were just hoping for better draws and resolving their spells. I don't see any misplays there. They were both Alfredo was aware of the evasion on the Grief. Everybody forgets it has Menace. Everybody forgets that card has Menace.
Why are these cards so good?
Why did they give Fury double strike? They didn't need to.
You know what? You know what always gets me? I always forget that Endurance has reach.
Oh yeah, it's a 3/4 with reach.
So yeah, you can flash in your Endurance, it gets rid of the graveyard, it's whatever. No, you flash it in and kill their flyer. Yeah. That's what Grief actually does.
It eats a Vendilion Clique. It may shuffle in a graveyard. It does eat a Clique.
It does eat a Clique, yeah.
Or a Brazen Borrower.
Oh, that's hilarious.
They get complacent with their flyers, and then you go, okay, well, Endurance, 3/4, I can block it.
Whatever.
They give it 4 toughness.
Yeah.
They made it you don't even trade. It just eats everything. It's those cards specifically, the Evoke Elementers, are the ones that I think everybody's bracing for impact for next year, because Modern Horizons 3 got announced.
Yep.
Coming out next summer.
Yep.
Gonna be a blockbuster, obviously.
Yep.
And everybody Modern Horizons 1 was sort of they printed some broken stuff. Hogak had to get banned.
Arkham's Astrolabe,
Ren and 6, out of Legacy.
Urza's
sort of a fine card, I think. It's very good, but it's
that deck was crazy. The Urza's PO box with the Arkham's Astrolabe and stuff.
Arkham's was the messed up card.
That deck was also that was before Oko was banned in Modern.
That is also true. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got a judge question here from Alfredo. But they were they reformed. They reshaped.
Is it a Gemstone Caverns question? Because I had seen him put a Gemstone Caverns into play.
It probably
and then
is. Yeah, I think it was, but he didn't announce it. He's probably trying to figure out when to announce it or how to announce it. That's looks like a Gemstone Cavern, but he's already on the play.
Oh, he's on the play, so
it doesn't
can't
matter.
have it in play. Oh, okay, gotcha.
But yeah, so Modern Horizons 1 had some pretty good stuff in it. Had some really good stuff in it. Modern Horizons 2 felt like it upped the ante a bit, and has had stuff that has stuck. They've threaded the needle a little bit better on powerful versus bannable.
Yeah.
And what from Modern Horizons 2 has seen a ban?
What from Modern Horizons 2 has
Ragavan
been
and
banned?
Legacy.
Geez. I can't think
that
off,
is,
the,
I
off the
think
top
that's
of my
it.
head.
Ragavan and Legacy is the only thing from Modern Horizons 2 that has seen a ban. And they've gotten better about threading that needle. And I think people are a little like bracing for impact of like, have they perfected it? Have they gotten it to the point where we're just gonna see some like totally new card design?
I love the Horizon sets, and I love
Oh,
the
me
idea.
too.
I love the idea of printing straight to Eternal formats in general. So Thoughtseize on turn 1 here is going to discard a Fire Ice after Alfredo's Lorien Reveal cycles and finds a breeding pool for his hands.
That is what Thoughtseize is that? Is that
It's the secret layer Junji.
Oh, Ito.
Junji Ito's
Yeah.
secret layer there. Just some wild art.
Oh,
It's
that man is
absolutely
messed up.
wild. Crashing Footfall is going to get suspended here after a shock from this breeding pool. We'll head back over to Johnny's turn. It looks like a Grief is going to get evoked for no value, and Undying Malice is going to bring that back.
Totally
sorry, that's a
reasonable play.
Feigned Death.
Yeah.
Feigned Death is going to bring that back with a +1/+1 counter on it.
We saw this in match 1.
Yep.
This play, and I think it's reasonable.
Crashing Footfalls going to
8 damage to nothing.
get a counter off of it. Lorien Revealed is going to get cycled here.
Yeah. Are we running 4 Lorien Reveals in this deck now?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yep, 18 lands, 4 Lorien Revealeds.
These cards are absolutely bonkers. Like the cycle cards.
Yep. For certain archetypes, I think they're pretty great.
Especially for like Murktide, getting access to another easily cyclable like sorcery.
Yep. I think the biggest impact that isn't apparent is Delirium.
Right, yeah. It lets your DRCs sort of
It doesn't it doesn't show up in this matchup, but Murktide specifically turning on Delirium for the Dragon's Rage Channeler and the Unholy Heats. It was pretty difficult before to get Delirium. You really had to jump through hoops, and now with the addition of Preordain being unbanned in Modern, which we have not seen yet in the future match area, nor have we talked about it. Silly us.
Preordain.
But Murktide being able to get Delirium a lot easier now.
Yeah. Notably, and I just wanted to point this out, hitting Delirium when you only have 2 card types in the graveyard, generally like a creature and a land, right?
Yep.
Being able to hit instant and sorcery at instant speed because you can pitch it
Correct.
at instant speed is bonkers. And we got a Stomp coming in and taking care of the token off of the Fable here. Both players really doing everything they can. Johnny's got Alfredo dead on board, I believe. He's at 8. He's got a Fury with
4/4 with double strike.
Yeah. Double 4 is 8. For those of us that can't do math.
So Optimus Primo in the chat here, yes, I will grab you a melee link here. Give me just one second to get it for you.
Oh, and we're cascading. Okay, so this is going to sort of save Alfredo from immediate death, right?
I suppose, yes.
The problem is he can evoke. He's going to be able to copy that Fury soon.
Correct.
And that Fury is just going to eat, like the copied Fury is just going to eat Rhinos.
Yes.
And even if he just copies and swings, it's going to eat another Rhino.
Additional copies of Fury or other removal spells here will kind of take this out of the equation here. So I think, do you just triple block here and cross your fingers, or does putting the Shardless Agent in the way even accomplish anything? Do you just double block with the Rhinos?
I think you just block. I think you chump with Shardless Agent up front.
Oh, okay, sure.
You chump, and then because all right, we're all right. So this is a weird thing, but if we can, I don't know.
Yeah, right. It's tough
Because like, are you playing to not lose, or are you playing to win?
I want to win, man.
Right. And like the winning play is to attack with everything and then Violent Outburst.
Oh, that is lethal.
Yeah. Notably, if he can, if he can block and then Violent.
Oh, that's
Outburst,
really fun. I hope that happens.
Yeah. Everybody forgets about the flavor text on Violent Outburst that pumps your team.
That's amazing. The flavor text
It
on
is
Violent
like,
Outburst.
It's like the flavor text on Yawgmoth, the protection for humans. It doesn't really matter, but like sometimes it does really matter. Okay, so we've got another Thoughtseize here, Woofa Doofa, and we had a Dead and Gone and a Bone Crusher Giant. We just take the Bone Crusher here, right? Like there's no world where we take a Dead and Gone. Because like, I don't know. Because the Bone Crusher is going to be a 2-for-1 against our, like if they want to spend a spell killing the Reflection,
Sure.
That's its own thing. But Bone Crusher Giant represents both a kill spell and a threat.
Yes.
And a blocker, like, notably. Has Alfredo totally stabilized here?
It's looking pretty good.
Putting 10 power on
a little better all the time, I think.
The fact that Fury doesn't actually have any evasion per se, it's just straight double strike. So it's going to get blocked.
Right,
by
being able to just put something in the way of it and kind of bide your time is real good.
All right. So this is what I talked about. We're just going to chump with the Shardless Agent, and let's see if Alfredo can get some damage in. So he's probably just going to cast this Bone Crusher Giant, and then wait until his opponent flips his Reflection, dead gone that, or stomp that.
Okay.
Because he still has the... Which card did he took the Bone Crusher, so he's got the Dead God in hand that he can deal with the Reflection.
I believe he took the Dead God. The Bone Crusher Giant's on an adventure.
Okay. So he can cast the Bone Crusher.
Yep.
And next turn he has a resolved Crashing Footfalls.
Yep.
So that's just going to make lethal.
So we're just attacking here, right?
We're just attacking, yeah.
Okay, he's being conservative. Attack with just one.
I like this.
Man, it's hard though. Here's an Orcish Bowmasters. That's going to take Alfredo down to 7 and put 2 power onto the board.
It's a tight one for both players. So now
untap Burning Inquiry?
You're speaking my language now, man. So I saw a deck that actually was trying to do that.
Yes.
Not very good.
No,
the deck's bad.
Fun though.
Very fun, very bad. Yeah, it was like running the time twister from your graveyard and
Echo of Aeons. Yeah.
So you'd get like a Bowmaster or 2 and then Echo of Aeons your opponent into the dirt. It was not very good because, like, did you know that Bowmasters is just good all in its own? You don't have to like pair it with something.
Right. You don't need to get weird.
It's not some fringe playable card. It's just like a bonkers modern playable. Okay, so we've got the Voidwalker now. Okay, so this is sort of inevitability. The Voidwalker, if he can't be dealt with, this requires Alfredo invest some amount of card advantage into killing either the Reflection or the Voidwalker, and he has to choose now.
Yep.
He only has 1 red mana source. And so he has the Stomp in hand to deal with the Reflection, which he may have to do because copying the Voidwalker is going to kill him.
Copying the Fury will also be...
Copying the... Yeah, that's also true.
So Bone Crusher Giant is going to take out the Dathi Voidwalker.
So now we get to copy the Bowmaster, and we just get to start chipping, and then eventually we can copy the Fury.
Lorien Revealed will find I wonder if there's another copy of Steam Vents in the deck. That'd be his other red mana.
But he's gonna have to shock himself to do it.
He's just gonna get a basic island.
Okay. I don't know how many cards in hand he has either. Oh my goodness. What a match.
Yeah, what a nail biter. Really coming down to the wire here.
And if you look, Johnny's at 8.
I mean, that's why I'm saying just push.
Yeah.
Just attack. He has to block you.
Yeah. Both of them are kind of like seeing who's going to blink first, right? The Voidwalker was an inevitability.
I mean, I guess you can just, depending on how many creatures he attacks with. I like attacking with 1.
Yeah.
Like, it forces him to block, I think.
Yeah.
Or take 4.
I mean,
those Rhinos have trample.
Yeah, they do. He could also defensively Fury copy. So if his opponent swings, if Alfredo swings in...
Well, isn't it was summoning sick though, right?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it was still summoning sick.
Oh my gosh, what a game. So we've got 4 Rhinos in play. So that's 16 power.
Yep.
Do we just Crundle?
Well, if he survives this turn, his opponent just has one card in hit. I think if he survives this turn, he can probably just alpha and win. Because Reflection copies Fury. The copy will kill one of the... he's
Crundled. Okay, here we go.
He is not waiting.
Yeah, all right. I think this is fine. You're forcing your opponent to make some really unfavorable blocks. Or die.
Well, the Reflection is no longer summoning sick.
Right.
So the Reflection can copy the Fury. That will kill one of the Rhinos. So we're left with 16 power left to block. 12 of it has trample.
Notably, he could also copy the Bowmasters to make make his token a 2/2 to block the Bone Crusher and trade.
But Bone Crusher's a 4/3. Oh, you mean put all 3 creatures in front of it?
Oh, Bone-Crusher is a 4/3.
Yeah, Bone-Crusher is a 4/3.
God, they really pushed, huh?
Okay,
Eldraine messed up set.
Then the 2 Furies block 2 of the Rhinos.
Yeah.
Then one of the Furies will survive. Because the other one's going to get sacked at the end of the turn. So that will leave him with 8 power, 4 of it has trample.
So, okay, we're making a second Fury.
Yep.
That's exactly what we talked about. So,
So,
he's going to kill the
yeah,
Bone-Crusher. He's killing a Rhino.
Okay, he's
okay,
killing
okay.
a Rhino. So I'm pretty sure Alfredo's just dead on the crackback.
This is, I mean, honestly, this is making his opponent play correctly, right? Forcing.
Yep. So he takes 4 here, and then he's dead on the crackback.
Because he still gets to copy the Fury.
Right,
Yeah,
and
he still has a
that
reflection.
Fury lives.
Yep, that's right. Because it has double strike. It's a 4/4 double strike. So he gets
Correct.
to eat one of the Rhinos.
Correct.
Oh my gosh. I still don't know that Alfredo was totally wrong to Crundle in here. Like, because like Johnny's just got killed.
I wonder what he's got in his hand.
Does Dead Gone go Dome?
No.
Okay.
No, it deals damage
So
to
7,
creatures
4.
and bounces a permanent.
Yeah, because the Fury itself is just lethal here. Yeah, this is. That might have been a mistake then to Crundle in, but
he's got the Bone Crusher he can play that's on an adventure.
Wait. I wonder if he has an Undying or what is it? The Cascade spell, the instant.
Yeah,
Cascade.
Violent Outburst.
Does he have a Violent Outburst in hand?
I have no idea.
That would be insane.
Yeah,
like
just make a bunch of Rhinos.
Yeah.
Here's a Misty Rainforest. That's gonna get cracked.
Oh my god, if he has a Violent Outburst in hand, this is the nutsiest. Because he gets to just clean kill his opponent and then, like... I always forget that Violent Outburst is an instant. Yeah, not... yeah. Yeah, Fire Ice would also help. Yeah, because you'd be able to tap down...
They didn't call it Eldrained because it was fun.
Yeah. What do we... Oh...
Yeah, I believe that match went to
Johnny.
Rakdos here.
Yeah.
He had a Fury,
Wow.
and a Brazen Borrower in hand there. Although, so what we could do is he goes to copy with the Fable. We can use the Brazen Borrower to bounce it, so he doesn't get his copy.
Yeah.
And then flash in the Brazen Borrower also, and that's lethal, right?
That is, yeah, because his opponent's at 3 with no flyers on board.
So we could survive that attack.
Yes.
We can kill him with the Brazen Borrower.
Correct.
Was he 1 mana short of being able to
I
do
think
that?
so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was.
All right, well, that's going to do it for round 2. Johnny with Rakdos Scam is going to take this one down.
No sideboard.
Nope, no sideboards involved in that in any capacity.
All right, be right back, folks.
All right.
Bye-bye.